My kicker tonight is on a subject that is seemingly too hot for Kenyan political leaders, something of a revered topic. Call it a hot potato, and more substantially, the elephant in the room. That topic is election management. This is a subject the political leadership, whether in government or opposition, avoids like a plague, except of course during elections. In between contested and poorly managed elections, political leaders proceed with pretense as if all is well in election management. They proceed as though they were not the ones screaming and kicking over alleged election rigging in the case of those in the opposition, or carrying out heavy-handed so-called security crackdowns in the case of those in government. Short memories unites the two sets of politicians. They forget so soon just how close to the brink they push this country every election. Right now, the two sets of political leaders have forgotten about 2017, and they pretend to forget about what may well be the worst ever election in the country's history. They're walking around in blindfolds, talking about the next election, 2022, and before that, a possible constitutional referendum or two. The political leaders talk of the referendum and the election without mention of the IEBC, the supposed independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission. Let us face it, IEBC is a ghost town. The electoral body is a badly amputated entity, both in reputation and as an institution. A commission of 7 is now a threadbare rickshaw of 3, running on capability, not on capability rather, but on sheer confidence and an amazing capacity for a straight face. This IEBC may and should manage the Kibera by-election, but it's certainly in no shape to handle a referendum or indeed the next election. No political leader is making this simple admission. They are busy with the referendum talk in a bizarre act that places the proverbial cat before the horse. Arabian folklore hero Abu Nuwas would smile at this arrangement. Now, as a journalist, I have covered every general election in Kenya since 1997. And my honest submission is all of Kenya's political problems start and end with management of elections. I also submit that out of the 5 elections that I have covered, only 1 passed the credibility test. That is the 2002 election. The rest of the elections are the reason political leaders must end the pretense and address the question of election management going forward. When the country inched close to a civil war in 2007-2008, retired South African judge Johan Kriegler, with his Independent Review Commission IREC, gave us an elaborate roadmap to fixing management of elections. That checklist of Kriegler recommendations was never fully implemented. In 2017, the Supreme Court shocked pretense out of every Kenyan when it nullified one of the dirtiest presidential elections in the history of Kenya. The IEBC imploded in the wake of the ruling. Commissioner Rose Akombe fled the country fearing for her life, and what was supposed to be a dummy politically instigated threat to resign by 3 other commissioners went wrong as it failed to produce the desired result. Let us face it, the IEBC has never recovered from the 2017 blunders, and it remains depleted and low in public confidence to date. Such is the backdrop against which political leaders are talking of a referendum and an election. Now, that is a recipe for disaster. There are no shortcuts on this one. A referendum or a general election is not possible under the current circumstances, and the earlier political leaders accepted this fact, the better for the country. That is my kicker.